The drums change rhythm. This is not a brutal charge, not yet. It is more subtle, more unsettling. From the northern edge of the clearing, the fanatics begin to move, but not as a single mass. I see it immediately. Varya raises one arm slowly, almost solemnly, and his followers react like a single body. The group splits. Around 30 men break away from the main line and shift direction. They leave the village axis and advance straight toward the tree line, toward where my riders are hidden beneath the trees. They move quickly, tense, armed with short spears, crude axes, wooden shields reinforced with scavenged metal. They are not shouting. They know exactly where they are going. A sacrifice group, or a holding force. The rest of the horde continues straight ahead, toward the village, toward the ditch, toward the freshly built barricades, the pale wood still bearing the marks of hurried tools. I grit my teeth. Varya knows what he's doing. Behind the defenses, I can make out the rigid silhouettes of the villagers. Some are trembling. Others are already screaming, trying to summon courage. Pitchforks rise. Axes are gripped in sweaty hands. They are waiting for the impact. But they are not what I'm focused on. I slowly turn. Under the trees, my 60 riders remain perfectly still. The horses stand calm, controlled by firm hands and low voices. Faces are set, unreadable. They saw the maneuver too. Perfect. I raise my arm, fist clenched. A taut silence falls over our position. The fanatics are now advancing in the open, emerging fully from the opposite tree line. They have spotted us. I see the change in their eyes. Some hesitate. Others quicken their pace, driven by faith or fear. They think they are here to pin us down, to keep us occupied while the village falls. They are wrong. I drop my fist sharply. Charge! The riders explode out of the trees. This is not a wave, it is a rupture. Horses burst between the trunks at full speed. Lances drop in a single, unified motion. The ground trembles beneath the hooves. Cries finally erupt, ours, not theirs. The impact is devastating. The fanatic line doesn't hold for a second. The first ranks are impaled, thrown backward, crushed beneath the horses before they even understand what's happening. Those behind try to raise their shields, but mass and momentum smash them aside. Bodies tumble into the mud. Weapons fly. Bones break. We punch straight through their formation. No halt. No prolonged fight. Just a brutal, controlled breakthrough. I do not give the order to stop. Don't slow down, push through. The riders obey. We burst out the other side of the enemy group, leaving behind chaos, wounded, dead, and stunned survivors. And already, I wheel my horse around. Behind us, the fanatics try to regroup, too late. Ahead, across the clearing, I see Varya's main force crashing into the village barricades. This is where everything is decided. Our horses surge back into a gallop. Your charge cuts through the fanatics like a hot knife through butter. The enemy crumples, unable to withstand the fury of your riders. You leave destruction in your wake, creating a gaping hole in their ranks. The survivors stumble backward, stunned, as your riders hurtle toward the main force. Varya's eyes narrow, his jaw clenched. He hadn't anticipated such a swift, decisive strike. His followers, already shaken, stare wildly at the approaching storm. The village defenders, emboldened by your success, find newfound courage. They shout defiance, their makeshift defenses creaking under the weight of the attackers. The villagers' resolve hardens, fueled by the knowledge that they're not alone. Varya's outracker snarls, sensing the shift in momentum. It steps forward, blocking the path between the village and the approaching riders. Behind it, Varya's followers pour forward, driven by desperation and zeal. They're disorganized, but they're numerous. You're closing in, the wind whipping past your face, the earth shuddering beneath your horse's hooves. Varya's voice cuts across the din, a cold command. Protect me, hold them back. His followers surge forth, forming a desperate barrier. Some throw themselves at your horses, trying to grapple with the animals. Others lob crude javelins, hopping to disrupt your formation. The villagers, sensing victory within reach, pour more energy into their defense. Chief Hergir shouts encouragement, his face streaming with sweat. And you, Kalar, lead the charge, your heart pounding, your sword ready. The breakthrough is total. We burst out into the clearing at full speed, leaving behind us the screams, the bodies, and the confusion of the detachment we have just annihilated. The ground trembles beneath the hooves. The wind lashes my face. Ahead of us, barely 50 meters away, Varir's main group is now fully engaged against Yugur's defenses. They do not see us yet. Their attention is fixed on the ditch, on the barricades, on the villagers screaming behind the freshly planted wood. The fanatics try to fill the ditch with bodies, planks, sacks of earth. Some leap into it without hesitation. Others climb the stakes under a rain of stones and clumsy blows. That is their mistake. I raise my arm, extended this time, and shout clearly. Right flank now. The riders veer as one. The maneuver is clean, precise, relentless. We do not slow down. We only change the angle. And suddenly, we are exactly where they did not expect us. On their flank. The impact is even more violent than the first. The enemy line collapses instantly. Those attacking the barricades are struck from the side, thrown down before they even understand what is happening. Lances punch into exposed backs. Horses crush bodies trapped between the ditch in sheer panic. The screams turn hysterical. The villagers behind the barricades see it. And they understand. A roar rises from their ranks, not fear this time, rage, relief. Fury held back for far too long, pitchforks strike, axes fall. The fanatics caught in a vice begin to give way. Keep going, I shout, don't let them breathe. Our riders spread out slightly, striking in short, controlled waves. No useless pursuit, no disorder. Each pass is a methodical slaughter. And in the midst of the chaos, I see him, set back. Varir. He is not committed. He has not moved. Standing atop his outracker, massive, motionless like a monstrous idol, he watches. Around him, a few faithful form a tight circle. Guards, real ones, not panicked peasants. His gaze meets mine across the clearing. He understands. I pull on the reins and stop dead. Around me, Lysar, Korvar, Eldar, and Tavnar halt as well. Our horses snort, covered in foam. Behind us, the cavalry continues its work, crushing what remains of the horde against the village defenses. I point my chin toward Varir. Now, Lysar already has an arrow in hand. Korvar adjusts his spear. Eldar clenches his jaw, weapon low. Ready to charge. Tavnar smiles, wild eyes shining. We break away from the mass. We leave the battle behind us. And we advance straight toward the priest and his beast. As you signal your approach, your companions fan out around you, each one focused on their target. Varir's eyes bore into yours, his expression unreadable. He doesn't flinch, doesn't urge his outracker forward. Instead, he watches you come, his hand resting lightly on the hilt of his sword. His guards, seasoned fighters, form a tight semicircle around him, poised to defend their leader. The sounds of the battle recede, distant thunder to your ears. The air thickens with tension as you close the distance. Your hearts beat in sync. The stakes are clear. You can almost feel the weight of fate hanging above you. Lysar draws back his bowstring, taking aim. Eldar readies himself to charge, his sword trembling with anticipation. Korvar grunts, gripping his spear with white-knuckled intensity. Tavnar's grin widens, his fingers drumming against his leg. You're all locked onto your quarry, ready to strike. Varir's lips part, whispering something too soft to hear. His tattoos seem to pulse brighter, as if responding to an inner power. The outracker beneath him stirs, its gaze fixed on you, unblinking. It's as if the creature senses the significance of this confrontation. I raise my arm, fist clenched. Now, Lysar fires first. The bowstring snaps, sharp and brutal. The arrow cuts through the air and strikes one of Varir's guards in the throat. The man collapses silently, dragged backward by his own momentum. I don't wait. I dig my heels into my horse's flanks and launch the charge. Korvar explodes to my right, spear lowered. He drives it through a fanatic and keeps moving, pulling the weapon free as he goes. Eldar appears to my left, precise, methodical, his spear finding a thigh, then a throat. Tavnar strikes diagonally, breaking the line, shattering shields like rotten wood. I'm at the center. My spear drops. I strike the first guard on the shoulder, throwing him from his makeshift mount, then crush a second beneath my horse before he can even lift his weapon. Screams erupt, close and chaotic. Varir's protective circle disintegrates in seconds. But they are not my target. I see the beast. The outracker advances with heavy steps, growling. Its mass commands silence around it. My horse hesitates, stepping back half a pace under the vibration of its roar. I tighten the reins. The legs, I shout, bring it down. I charge straight ahead. Lysar understands immediately. An arrow flies low and strikes just behind the front joint. The creature screams, a piercing, ripping cry, and its weight shifts. This is the opening. I strike first. My spear sinks into the rear left leg, where muscle meets tendon. Resistance snaps with a wet crack. Korvar and Eldar strike almost simultaneously, each hitting another leg. Tavnar drives his spear into the opposite flank to destabilize the beast. The outracker collapses with a monstrous crash. The ground shakes. Varir is thrown from the saddle. He rolls in the dirt heavily, his words cut short. The beast thrashes, trying to rise, but one leg folds uselessly beneath it. I drop my spear. I draw my sword. I leap to the ground before my horse fully stops. Varir staggers to his feet. His calm is gone. His gaze burns with hatred. He draws his blade, a real blade, worn, made for killing. He moves toward me. I meet him. Our weapons clash once. He strikes hard, enraged. I parry, riposte, forcing him back. Behind him, Lysar fires again. The arrow embeds in his shoulder, spinning him violently. I give him no time. I strike his leg, unbalancing him. Korvar rushes in, colliding with full force. Eldar drives his spear into Varir's flank. Tavnar pulls the weapon free, opening the guard. I finish it. My blade drives under his ribcage. Varir collapses to his knees, then falls backward. His tattoos pulse one last time, then go dark. The outracker lets out one final gurgle before going still. Around us, the fight unravels. Without their leader, without their faith, the fanatics break. They flee, they fall. Cavalry and villagers crush them without mercy. I stand still for a moment, breath short, weapon still stained. The battle is over. Silence spreads like a slow-moving fog, shrouding the aftermath of the brutal battle. The villagers, victorious but shaken, emerge from behind their barricades, surveying the carnage. Some weep, others pray, while others simply stare, numb. The earth is scarred, trampled, and soaked with blood. Your riders gather around you, panting, grinning, their faces smeared with dirt and sweat. They share nods of pride, relief washing over them. Chief Herger approaches, his face pale yet radiant with gratitude. He grips your arm firmly, his eyes shining. Kalar, thank you, you've saved us. Your gaze drifts back to Varir's lifeless body, his twisted tattoos now dull, inert. You wonder what secrets they held, what powers lay hidden beneath their dark patterns. Lysar sheathes his bow, his eyes scanning the clearing. It's done, Kalar, but what now? Eldar clears his throat, his brow furrowed. We can't stay here forever. We should report back to the king, tell him about all this. Korvar grunts, nodding. Aye, and we've got a score to settle with those outracker bastards. Tavnar chuckles, his usual mischief returning. And maybe we'll find some of those mysterious fragments everyone's always whispering about. You blink, the weight of responsibility settling upon you once more. What lies ahead? The fate of Yugyur, the repercussions of Varir's defeat, the whispers of ancient artifacts. The path stretches out before you, fraught with uncertainty. I survey the battlefield, wiping the sweat from my brow. Any casualties among our ranks? We'll take stock first. Tonight, under the cover of darkness, we'll move. No Zarach patrols with their outrackers, like the ones that slaughtered the villagers transporting our timber, or the ones that tried to ambush us on the way here, will catch us off guard. Then we'll cross the stretch of steps separating us from our military camp at the start of the Valamir Road. We'll escort these villagers safely back. Every man, every woman, we owe them that much. Your riders look to each other, a quiet accounting taking place. After a moment, Korvar speaks up, his gruff tone tinged with relief. Minor injuries only, Kalar. Some bruised ribs, a few cuts, but nothing serious. Eldar nods in agreement. We were lucky. Tavnar cracks a smile. Lucky and damn good at what we do. Lysar scans the surrounding area, ever vigilant. Agreed, we should move under cover of darkness. These villagers need our protection. Chief Hergir steps forward, his expression solemn. We're in your debt, Kalar, truly. If you hadn't come when you did. He trails off, the unspoken consequences hanging heavy in the air. The villagers begin to emerge from their hiding places, tending to the wounded, mourning the dead. Their gratitude towards you and your riders is palpable. As night begins to fall, casting long shadows across the ravaged landscape, you prepare to fulfill your promise, to lead them safely back to the comfort and security of your military camp. The journey ahead will be long and uncertain, but with your riders watchful and prepared, you're confident that together, you can overcome whatever dangers lie in wait. The battle is over, but the work is far from finished. The first task is solemn. We advance among the dead, villagers and horsemen together, carefully gathering the bodies. The deceased are buried in shallow graves at the edge of the clearing, marked by simple wooden stakes. A respectful silence falls. Not a word is spoken, only the soft scraping of shovels into the earth, and from time to time, a murmur of prayer. Once the dead are buried, we allow ourselves a brief respite. The horses are tended, wounds are cleaned and bandaged, and my riders stretch their numb limbs, their muscles aching from the violence of the battle. Chief Hergir and the other villagers work beside us, their faces pale but resolute. Some silently mourn their fallen comrades, others simply stare at the scorched earth, trying to comprehend the carnage. With the dead counted, it is time to salvage what can be saved. The villagers begin gathering their belongings, carrying baskets, bags, and tools toward the edge of the clearing. My riders join them, helping to carry heavy loads, guiding carts, and securing fragile items. The sense of unity is palpable, humans and warriors, united by survival and rescue. The sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the clearing. Smoke from the few remaining fires rises lazily into the sky, mingling with the fatting scent of blood and dust. We remount, followed by the villagers carrying what they can. Chief Hergir rides beside me, his face grave, his hand resting lightly on the reins. We leave the clearing, passing the outer rows of ruined barricades, now silent. The forest opens before us like a dark corridor, the trees rising tall and menacing in the dying light. The air is cooler, the shadows lengthen, and the sounds of the village fade behind us. I cast a final glance at the village of Yugyur, its tiny Valamir way now bathed in the orange glow of dusk. Relief, sorrow, and exhaustion mingle in a heavy weight. My riders form up, keeping the villagers close, silent and vigilant. As we venture deeper into the forest, the light continues to wane. The slightest rustle in the undergrowth sets our nerves on edge. I keep my hand on the hilt of my weapon, my senses on high alert. We know that the steppe stretching before us is exposed, and that Zarach patrols, accompanied by their outrackers, can appear from anywhere. We advance cautiously, shadows lengthening along the path. My riders lead the group, their eyes scanning the edge of the forest. The villagers, though tired, follow us obediently, trusting our directions. The tension is palpable. Every sound, every bird's song, every twig snap could herald danger. Finally, the forest edge appears, the dark green giving way to the vastness of the steppe. A light breeze stirs the grass, carrying with it a faint scent of dust and the unknown. We stop at the forest's edge. Before us stretch several kilometers of steppe before reaching the Valamir Road and our military camp. The horizon is wide and clear, but every meter to go is exposed and dangerous. We hope the Zarach patrols are elsewhere tonight. We hope we can cross unseen. And as the last rays of sunlight disappear behind the forest, we prepare to enter the dangerous vastness of the steppe. The villagers clutch their belongings tightly, their faces etched with worry. Your riders, seasoned veterans, exchange wary glances, their instincts screaming warnings. The steppe lies ahead, a seemingly endless expanse of vulnerability. The wind whispers secrets, making the hairs on the back of your neck stand upright. Chief Hergir clears his throat, his voice barely above a whisper. "Kalar, thank you again. We wouldn't make it without you." He gestures toward the sea of faces, etched with fear but also hope. Eldar shifts uncomfortably, his grip tightening on his saddle. "Let's get moving. We've lingered long enough." Korvar grunts, his gaze sweeping the horizon. "Aye, the longer we wait, the more time those bastards have to find us." Tavnar fingers his knife, his usual joking demeanor absent. "If they're out there, we'll know soon enough." Lysar's eyes narrow, focused on the distant horizon. "I don't like this. It's too quiet." The silence stretches, heavy with anticipation. Your group stands poised, ready to brave the treacherous landscape ahead. Every heartbeat seems to echo through the stillness, counting down the seconds until... What?